We're going to do a rain dance that it's recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for hopping on this impromptu bonus call. Hold on. I gotta let everyone record. Okay, it says it's recording. We should be good, Kayla, right? It's recording. Either way, y'all are here. That's what matters. We're so happy that you're here. Welcome, welcome. Again, thanks for being available. It was so funny. Yesterday, after we wrapped, I actually already felt like I wanted to do a bonus call with all of you just because I felt like I wanted more time. Jill, you're laughing because you know this is how the universe works, right? I just felt like I wanted more time to go deeper with all of you. And so we were actually, funny enough, I had already messaged the team, I think, before we found out yesterday didn't record. And I was like, hey, just so you know, I think I want to do one more day, like a surprise bonus call with everyone. And then Kayla messaged me later and she was like, I can't find the recording anywhere. It just didn't upload. Like we recorded it, but it just didn't upload. So anyway, I trust that that was the universe supporting my decision of, of doing another call. And I'm so excited. This is going to be completely different from anything that we've already done so far this week. So if you were here yesterday, it will be completely different. If you were here yesterday, you got to do the guided visualization we did, which was really, really powerful. No one will get a replay of that ever because that is gone now, but that's okay. We got to be in the energy of it. But today, what I would love to do is create the space for whatever it is that needs integration, whatever it is that needs further conversation, and really to let you all lead with what your questions are on that. We talked a little bit yesterday about the programs that we have available for enrollment now. So if people have questions on that, I'll probably touch on that briefly today too, because I know not everyone got to join yesterday and hear that. But my heart and my intention is to work with you live on whatever has been coming up around this material. So I want to really open it up to all of you. And those of you who are in our programs already, this is going to feel very similar to like a 10K or a 50K club call where we want you to just raise your hand, raise your virtual hand, and ask your question. So whatever it is that you need further support around, whatever feels like it needs to be clarified. There's been a lot of good conversation I've seen just in like text messages with a lot of you, or hearing from my team about some of the takeaways. And I know we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot these past couple days, but I really want to open it up. Um, again, I want to open it up. This time is for you. So who has a question? It can also be a takeaway if you're like, hey, I just want to share. This has shifted this week. And it's going to it'll support everyone else too, because this is about you integrating what you have already, what you have taken through these past few days. It's going to help everyone integrate as well. And there's going to be additional learning for everyone as we go. So, Ray, I see your hand raised. I love your hat, by the way. You look fabulous. Go ahead. Did you have a takeaway or did you have a question?
I have something that's showing up for me as far as receiving in my feminine energy.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, let's do it.
So I just randomly ran into somebody and we were kind of hitting it off.
Yeah.
And, we went on a couple of like walks and had some meals together. And on one of our walks, well, first he paid for everything, and I was just like, wow, this is weird. I don't know how to sit in this, right?
Okay.
And we were on
Mhm.
a walk, and there was like a beautiful flower over across the grass, but it had rain, so it was wet. But he went over there through the grass, wet, dewy grass, and got his shoes all wet, and picked a part of that flower and brought it back to me so that I could see it up close. And it was just the sweetest thing. And
Yeah.
just multiple things like this, like all this giving to me. And I could see throughout the day, just like me, like backing away when he would cut, when he was coming to give me
Mm,
that flower, I was like backing away. And
yeah.
um, then afterwards, like sitting in what that felt like and meant, and I could feel myself closing in, like,
Okay.
what is this? Oh, is this gonna go away? Or does he like, does this mean that I have to do something? Or
Mm,
it was very strange, and I could feel all this internal stuff shifting. I was like, this is not right. Like, I should be able to be blessed and have gifts given to me and be like, yeah, this is normal.
yeah.
Feel like that probably replicates elsewhere in my life that I'm not as, aware of, as far as
Yep.
money or opportunities or being seen.
Yep. Yep. Well, your feeling is correct. It does, right? So that's a beautiful awareness. So what is showing up for you now that you notice those edges of how much you're willing to receive? Where else do you see that showing up in your life?
Uh So I have been, since I've been back in Tennessee, I've been like, okay, God, a source, creator, where am
Mhm.
I? What's the next stage I'm going for? Like, who's the next person I got to reach out to? What's this next action step I got to
Yeah.
do? I've really been led to like sit back and rest and let
Mm,
it come and wait for that season. And I'm feeling like I might be giving myself a block unknowingly,
mhm.
not, telling myself I'm not ready to receive all of that that comes with that next big step, right? So like, let me just
Mm.
work on my house. Let me just work on me day to
Uh-huh.
day. I know there's good in resting, but there's part of me that also questions if I'm just like using it as a fail-safe or instead of putting myself out there and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's the fear about receiving at the level that you actually want to receive at? And that you know, like that you feel right now is coming. What's the fear?
Good question. I think it has something to do with, and I'm sure this is a common thread. But in the past growing up, I was made fun of a whole lot. I was not very cute. And so anytime
Mhm.
I was in the spotlight, it was ridicule mostly. Or if it was a spotlight at home, it was because, oh, you're not acting right, you're not reading your Bible, or you're not like anytime there was like highlight on me, it was maybe not so great for me to experience.
Mm.
So I feel like maybe that has something to, and also it's kind of like if you get something good, like maybe it's going to be taken away. So like don't
Mhm.
get attached to it or don't have your hopes up for it because you're just going to get
Mhm.
disappointed. So I feel like there's a part of me that's like, let's just play it safe. So like
Yeah.
nothing can be taken away.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this is really beautiful awareness. And so you've got what's beautiful. So in 10K, you've got the inner child healing modules that I would go through and I'd go back into because this is all little Ray, right? And this happens, right? So it's like there's nothing wrong. To me, when we're ascending and elevating, it exposes the edges of our comfort level, right? And so every time I go to another level, I get to do more inner child work with little Elise because she's like, "Oh, is this okay? Right? Is this okay? Is this all right? Is it safe?" And so I say that to say what's beautiful is you've got the tools in the program. Hold on, you just moved on my screen. There you are. You've got tools in the program to help you with that, right? But I think what I want to acknowledge is your awareness of I'm where am I using things as a distraction to say that I'm not energetically ready to
Yeah.
receive? Because we're going to receive whatever we're available and open to receive. I mean, this is really it. It's all about how open you are and how available you are. So what I hear when you're talking, Ray, is like like intellectually, these things are here. The stages are here, the opportunities are here, the followers are here, the fans are here, like people are here, right? And yet there's a smaller part of me that wants to, oh, I'm going to go work on the house. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So I think it's just that self-awareness piece. Like that's one thing I would say. It's the self-awareness piece of noticing, when am I distracting, right? When am I numbing? And then also you, and the other piece that I would lean into in the program and in the curriculum is the new personality, old personality work, because this is the gift here, like beyond you standing on those stages and performing and receiving the love and the affection from the crowd and all of that. The real gift is you becoming the woman who does that. And that gets to happen right now. You've created a beautiful container. Your soul has created a beautiful container where you get to work on this. So it's day, and this is the work I do. It's like every single day. Who is Elise who gets paid X amount per keynote that a couple years ago I would have thought was insane? Like, who is Elise who um, leads calls with X number of women on, and doing that work, because that is the work, is stepping into that version of us and practicing that daily embodiment, and simultaneously helping our inner child, our little girl, feel safe. So I would be, because you're already in the community, which is so beautiful, I would be leaning into the new personality, old personality work, and practicing, like, who is Goddess Ray, who stands on those stages, right? And then what does little Ray need to know to feel safe? Because if she's associating greater spotlight with, I'm going to be made fun of, or this or that, of course you're going to pull back from that, right? But is that ultimately true? Is that ultimately what you want to choose to be true? No, right? So I know I want to direct you into those resources, but your awareness right now of that is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, but that's the work. Does that make sense? Do you have questions on any of that?
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful. Jill, I see your hand raised. I want to acknowledge really quick before you go. I don't know if she's still on. Hold on. Is Marie on here? I just saw one of the most beautiful souls hop
She
on.
jumped off. She was on Elise.
She was on for like 2 seconds. Okay.
She was on for a
I'm
bit.
sad she
Yeah.
jumped off. I was going to say hi to her. She's so awesome. Okay. We just had Marie, who was my shaman for some time, and she came and spoke for us in Sedona a couple years ago. I know she's been part of this event, but she hasn't been on live. So Marie, if you're watching the replay later, we love you. Hello. And she's also psychic, so she'll probably know I'm talking about her and pop back on and say hi. But she's a beautiful soul. Jill, go ahead. What was your question? Oh, you're muted.
Yep. So I had this interesting experience yesterday. The end of the day, I received an email from someone in the organization, and I just don't appreciate the approach and all of that. And I just, this flare, right? And in the past, I would have taken like, oh, I'm so sorry or whatever, right? And I just felt like this person, the only description was, is that, you have a fire in a fireplace and you take that little thing and you're like, shh. And I'm like, okay, so my head knew, or me, I wouldn't say my head, me knew this is not my stuff. This is not my
Mhm.
stuff. But
Yeah.
my body
Yeah.
and this younger part. So I just want to share that I just really, so this is the first thing. Like I really appreciated this moment of like, I first like, who can I talk to? No, Jill, you've got this inside of you. So
Yeah.
I put on an inner child thing, or like meditation, laid in the grass, like complete still. And then before the end of the time, my daughter's coming out and we're playing. And I was like, oh, okay, this works. And so
Yeah.
I just appreciate all this integration of recognition, but that was really uncomfortable. Like, it's like, how does
Mhm.
your body or these younger parts of you catch up to what I was like, this isn't my stuff. I've been here
Yeah.
before. Like, there a point where that catches up? Like, I guess that's one of my questions. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll share with you my understanding, and I think we all have to like come to our own conclusions about this. My understanding is as long as we are here on this planet having a human experience, there's going to be contrast, right? There's going to be some contrast. There's going to be human emotions, but that's the very reason why you're here. That's the very reason why you're here, to get to experience that, right? Because you, at your essence, like the truth of who you are, is light, love, oneness, divinity, source, right? Whatever language you want to use, like that's your truth. And the only way that we can experience that more is through the contrast, right? That's how we get to see, that's how we get to grow and expand in that. Now, what I will say is that as we do the work, and I think beautiful awareness to you to be like, okay, my first instinct, right? My reaction here is I want to go vent to someone, but you were aware enough to know, oh, this doesn't actually have anything to do with this email or with, needing to talk to someone else. It's something inside of me that is being illuminated so that I can do the healing work on it, right? So you were aware, which is really, really beautiful and powerful. Um, Hold on, I lost my train of thought with that, but it's going to come back. Here we go. So as you do the work, what'll happen is you'll have a scenario that would have elicited that same response, and it doesn't anymore, right? It doesn't phase you. And that's how you know. It's like, okay, that piece is integrated. That piece is healed. And for me, I think I was actually thinking about this morning. It was like, we get the perfect scenarios along the way for exactly where we are, for exactly what our soul needs to learn and integrate and heal, that are like the right size and proportion for us as well. Like, we don't get things we can't handle. Um, so I think that's really beautiful to know. And then as you grow and ascend, there's going to be other stuff, but there's also going to be a lot of love and beauty and light. And to me, contrast, we talked this week about the law of opposites. Like, contrast means did we talk about the law of opposites? We did, right? Yeah. Yes or no? Did I talk about that yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Um, Contrast means you're on the right track. It means you're on the right path. It means that you're getting to become the version of Jill who does whatever it is that's next that you want to do. So it's like, thank you, right? Thank you. That's how I look at
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, it
it.
is growth, and there's fear attached to that
Okay.
growth.
What's the fear?
Um, I've realized it's interesting that I'm in this process of figuring out my last day with my the nonprofit that I co-founded is Monday.
Yeah.
And the fear of I've realized I think I've experienced the fear of change.
Mm,
And a fear of pause, and a fear, like all these things that are like, whoa, they're swimming in this
okay.
really interesting place right now. And yet I'm trying to navigate and imagine where I'm being called as a niche. And I actually think it is in that place of transition and change, like supporting people, whether it's health or
Yeah.
business or what,
Mhm.
or life, like circumstances or relationships. So it's like, I get as I'm on this journey and saying, well, gosh, I don't know what my niche is. How am I ever going to make that money that we dream, and put in our heads?
Mhm.
Like, even though, so then there's this contrast of like, well, I imagine my value and financially, but yet, like, that just seems like magical thinking when I'm
Okay.
right here and I don't yet even know what I'm like, where I'm going to even make any money.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So so let me ask you too, what is magical thinking? What do you mean by magical thinking? I mean, I've heard it, but what's your definition?
Um, just really big dreams.
Hmm. Hmm. And what's telling you you can't have that?
The part that wants to keep me safe.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This is so interesting. You and Ray both brought up safety.
Yeah, safety is at the core of this for me.
You both brought it up. Yeah. What are you making your safety?
The known.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because there's a lot of, and I'll piggyback on that. Um, there's a lot of different things we make our safety. The known, our bank account, our partner, right? Is your known reality your dream? Like, is it all that awesome? I mean, I'm sure there's parts that are really awesome, but is it all that awesome? Are you like madly, deeply in love with it? Wouldn't change a thing?
No, it's this financial piece. It's this career piece. It's the, what is my gift to the world piece.
Okay.
It's the other, like I have been on a journey and I understand, and I've been on this journey of imagining what I want in my life and relationships with my family and my kids from where they were, and my husband and my mom, and all those things. I've witnessed shift. I've witnessed transformation.
Yeah.
So I know it's possible. I've surrounded myself with a support and I'm not alone, but yet part of me still feels alone as I go into whatever
Mm-hmm.
and the career is next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple things. There's actually there's a lot. This is why we needed today's call. Like there's a lot. And that's beautiful and that's good. Um, ultimately we are all alone and we are not alone, right? But ultimately we are. This journey, it's a journey of you and you, right? This is how I think about it for myself. It's like my soul is on an evolution here, and I'm going to get attached to different people and scenarios and things throughout. Well, the ego, at least, is going to get attached to people, scenarios, things being as they are. And yet that defies natural law. If you look at how things work on the planet, nothing stays the same. Nothing. Everything is moving. Everything is evolving. Things are born, they die, right? That's how it works. That's how it happens. So I think when we can have the bigger soul perspective of like, I'm on a journey here. Like my soul is on a journey here. I came into this planet alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Right? Like that's how it's going to be. And that's okay. So what is the goal of my life? Now, I know that I would not be here if there were not a purpose written on my soul. What are the chances? 1 in 700 trillion or something like that, that we're born? What's that? Someone knows the number. It's some insane number. It like the chances of you being here are next to none. But you're here. You're here. You would not be here, Jill, if there was not a something, a writing on your soul, a calling, a purpose, something that you were meant to bring forth, and that you were meant to enjoy the process along the way and enjoy the evolution of your soul, not for anyone else, but for you, right? It's a journey of you and you. But we have to decide, what am I going to make the goal of my life? And how am I going to make decisions in my life? Because if I'm going to make the goal, and if I'm going to make decisions based on safety, which is keeping my bank at a certain level, staying in certain circumstances that actually feel like I've outgrown, like you are not going to live a fulfilled life if you make choices that way. So the way that I have the thing that has really served me, and it gets you uncomfortable, Like you will make a lot of uncomfortable choices from this place, but man, will you grow? Man, will you be blessed? Man, will you feel like, okay, like that was what I wanted with my life, is what will expand me? What choice will expand me? What does my intuition tell me? Like if I'm tapped in, what is my intuition guiding me to? Because that will always guide you to your expansion, never about safety. Your soul's not here for safety. It's here to have a wild, crazy adventure. No one makes it out alive. No one. No one. Right? Your brain will try to tell you that that's not the case for you. You're not going to make it out alive. Neither am I. It's okay. Right? We'll come back another way, have another adventure. But so when we can remember that and shift the focus, right? Shift the focus. Now, one other thing that I wanted to say is the unknown. It's an uncomfortable place for many of us, right? It's also where everything new gets created. It's where everything new gets created, and it's feminine. The feminine is all about the unknown. There have been times in my life where I felt like I was in a void. Just like, between, I think we've all had those, right? Where you're between two things, and the analytical mind wants a business plan. It grips. It's like, if I can just be doing these things, that like, this feels like safety, right? That's how our brain operates and works. If you bypass the unknown, if you try to bypass it to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to feel secure, you actually prolong the amount of time that you're there. I think about it like, it's like the womb of creation, right? Like when baby's in the womb, it's pitch black, has no idea what's going on in there, right? But there's a lot going on in there that the baby's not even aware of. And if we try to rush the process and say, oh, 9, 10 months is too long, let's, 4 months, this thing doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. So when you can understand the natural rhythm of things, and when we go into that void, and everyone does, it's all the transitional seasons, right? When you understand, okay, I'm going into my next evolution, there's going to be a period where I feel like I'm in the dark. There's going to be a period where I feel like I'm in the unknown. That's the time to get quiet, to get still, to go out in nature, to be by yourself. Like that fear of loneliness, there's a lot of answers and truth for you in being alone. Okay. Listen to yourself. The sooner you get comfortable doing that and you start taking action there, you'll be guided, right? But all of the things that feel triggering right now or feel scary right now, those are the aspects of old personality Jill that's being invited to lovingly release or integrate, right? Or help little Jill feel safe. But those parts are not, we don't want them to lead the show for you moving forward, for where you're going, for what you're doing. So when we can recognize the season for what it is, and instead of pushing against it, fully immerse ourselves and say, thank you. What am I meant to learn right now? And then we focus on that. We move through it, right? Because what we resist persists. So lean in. What shows up for you with that? Does that help? Do you have follow-up
Yeah,
questions?
no, it actually brings me back to a conversation of what I said. So I think there's a part of me that really just already knows this. So I was saying to my mom, I said, it's like the time where you see surfers. I'm not a surfer, but I think it would be pretty cool where they go underwater for a period of time so that they can come up on the other side and then ride on the wave. And like, that's where I feel like I'm just at that point of choosing to go underwater and allow for that. And as you're saying, it just brought that image back up of like, I already know all this.
Yeah.
I know all this.
And I am merely your divine reminder today.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't remember if we talked about this at the July event or not, but like everything grows in the dark, right? Everything grows in the dark. babies, seeds.
Mm.
That's a necessary part of the process.
Yeah.
So you're just going into a growth period.
Yeah, it's very
Let it
interesting.
happen.
I also had a coaching session this week, and I'll just share the connection, and then I know there's other
Yeah.
people, but this session took my energy from my throat where it was tight down into my gut where my throat, my gut have been living like these pain in these sessions, but it actually went into this like love and support in my reproductive area.
Beautiful.
And it was like, okay, I don't know. I think it's all tying together where my body may be catching up to what I've been absorbing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it really is like when we're in, I don't think this is just when we're in a season that feels like we're in the dark, but I think this is leading with feminine energy is like one step at a time. Like, what is today about? What is this moment about? What is today about? Because when we get caught up in see, like you're calm right now when you were in
Yeah,
the
I know.
analytical mind of like,
Mhm.
how am I going to make the money and this and that, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't even need that right now. Like, I know that you don't because you're right here. Not that you wouldn't take it and say, yes, thank you, but like you're fine. You're here. Right. And when you can take one step at a time, what is this day about? We stay in our bodies, we stay present. And from that place, we're able to receive. So that's also the work right now. That's also the work.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Who else? Let me pull up the chat. I see there's a lot happening in the chat. Jessica, I have kids in the background, but my question is the one I asked on Tuesday, where you talked about you don't get to decide how long the goal will take or how long the cake will bake. How do you align to this in corporate sales with monthly, quarterly goals and conversations with leaders around weekly pipeline? Oh, who in here is in 10K or 50K and in corporate sales and wants to talk about that? Emma, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you meant like, I don't want to talk about it. I want to receive from you about this.
Oh.
Sorry.
I
I'm
don't
here
report
for
to
it.
anyone, so I don't have this. I report to myself. I don't know, but we do have this conversation in the community, and Laura, I may even have you hop on and share some of your thoughts here. So Laura leads our corporate sales mastermind, and she's really brilliant at helping women who understand this work and this material navigate those. There's actually, I need to see if I can find this photo. I found this hilarious meme. Y'all, I'm going to go down a rabbit trail. Hold on, Laura, answer this and I'm going to find the meme and share it with all of you because this made me laugh the other day. But go ahead. Will you answer Jessica's question?
Sure. Hello. Everybody hear me okay? Yep,
Yeah.
good. So the question is, how do you align to this in corporate sales and monthly, quarterly goals and conversations with leaders around weekly pipeline? And so, I love this question, being in the corporate environment as well. And it's the energy in which we approach this in a meeting. And so I always check in with how I'm feeling with this. Is there any kind of fear? What's showing up? And this is stuff that if you know like how you're responding or just be, like when I first started this, I was like, let me become aware of how this is feeling right now and what kind of state am I in? And so then what you can do then is take this back, at another time, but just become aware of where you're at within your body around the fear of it. Or I don't know what's showing up. So Jessica, maybe you could share with me what kind of shows up with it. But for me, I'm like, I know one, I affirm that, my pipeline is exactly where it needs to be. Um, I went through, oh, sorry. I thought Jessica was was replying back. But I look at too, I'm like, what, with corporate, I'm like, it's just all about one. I know what they want to, I know where things are going. I talk to what I'm doing, but it's in this energy of non-attachment to it, no fear with it. I think about like yesterday, I had a meeting with a group of partners that we have, and it's an initiative through revenue that we're bringing in, a stream of revenue. And um, there was you could feel the fear around the room with people because there were some things that we needed to improve upon. And I just remember just sitting back and just like being in this and just knowing that, um, really just highlighting really the things that are happening and going on. And so I think just to come back to it, Unleash, you can add some more into this as well, but it's really the energy in which I approach it and really being in the space of, I know what I'm doing and I know how I'm reaching out to clients and I know where my goals are coming from, and just staying in this power of it, of this, and this feeling of it. And this is the feminine that we get to bring in the corporate environment of it. And you just flow with it. And you get better at this over time. This is stuff that we teach within the program with the feminine. And I love this stuff and I love approaching this. So I think, as you're asking this question, just start becoming aware of like how you're feeling with it and what's showing up around it. And then we do a lot of work around this within the program. I do this within the mastermind group as well. We talk through different things with this. So hopefully that's helpful. If you have, something that's showing up around it, just let me know, maybe some specifics with it. But that's how I would approach it. And that's how I think about it. Elise, I'll let you add anything else. Yeah.
Oh, no, I love it. All I'm going to add is this meme. This made me laugh. Hold on. Let me find y'all. This cracked me up. Okay. So, can you see, am I sharing that? Okay. It's just,
Yes.
I feel like this is so Brandon Hanley, this is from his Instagram. He's a breathwork instructor. Some of y'all met him last week. He came, did a bonus session for our 10Kers, and this is from his podcast. But yeah, it's like now foot in both worlds, right? But yeah, the only thing I'll say, and Laura, I think that sounded great. I was finding this, so I may have missed something, and I may be repeating something you already said, but no matter what scenario you're in, everyone is a mirror. Everyone is a mirror. So Laura, I heard you say this, like, it's all about the energy that you're in. If your boss, leaders, whoever are asking questions and triggering something in you that's overwhelm, urgency, I'm not enough, blah, 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 your opportunity is to do that work in yourself to see what part of me is believing that, because that's the only reason it can land. Is there something in you that they're saying that that you believe, right? And they are no exception to the rule that the inner determines the outer. So as you get into a really beautiful state of abundance and overflow and more than enough spaciousness in terms of time and money, you're not going to have any sort of experience in the outer 3D with bosses or whoever that has you feeling like there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough opportunities. That's what I would say. Emma, go ahead. Was that a follow-up or was
actually
that
do
a question?
Yeah, I do just actually have something that I want to add that I've been like trying to integrate into my corporate like sales practice with that. It ties to both what you just said and to what Laura said. So it's like once you do like the masculine work and you have this goal that you're trying to reach, and if you get too focused on kind of the end goal of like, well, why isn't this happening or why hasn't this come through yet? And you've already done the work. It's like reminding yourself to take a deep breath and take a step back and reflecting the mirror piece, and then going to the feminine space of like, well, if I have already done all of the work, well, then I'm just going to welcome this to come in, right? Like I'm going to have my open arms and allow that to come through. And so when you do that, typically when you've already done all of the work, it will. So at least that's been my experience so far since April, because I am operating in the daily in that masculine energy of like, oh, this checklist, I got to do this. Oh, well, wait a minute. No, I've already done that. So just trying to kind of like refocus and align yourself into that feminine space.
Beautiful. There's a lot of women in here doing it. And there's women, I know there were some women who are on here who are traveling today or not able to jump on live, but it's like there's 100% a way to approach it. And that's part of why we created the corporate sales mastermind, because it is a different conversation. And well, I was in corporate sales for many years. I'm not anymore. And but that's why Laura leads that piece. It's just really powerful. Sometimes I push when the work is done. Yep, exactly. It's all a mirror. So it's all about what do I get to take ownership of within myself. Who else has a question? I'm reading through the chat. This is beautiful. There's so much good support for each other in here. Anything we talked about so far this week? Yeah, we did a lot. And if you can come on camera, I know not everyone can come on camera, but if you can come on camera, we'd love to see your beautiful faces. Emma, let's do it, girl. I love it. Let's go.
I just have one other super quick thing because I also have a client in the office that I might have to bop out for. Okay. But I had this super amazing experience that happened yesterday after, kind of during and after our call. So Leslie, I don't know why I can't think of her last name, but she does the hypnosis for weight loss. We were texting about about our monthly goals, and she was like, "How you doing, girl? How did last month go?" Because it was the last day of July yesterday, and I didn't quite get to where I wanted to be, and so we were talking about that, and she was like, "Wouldn't it just be amazing if I came through for you today?" And I was like, "Yes, it would. I feel this energy. Let's go." And so to pivot from that, I had entered into this drawing. This is totally off corporate tangent, but I entered into this drawing for a $3,000 value of a board and train for a dog I rescued. And I was like, I'm going to win that. I'm going to win that. And the drawing was yesterday, and I fucking won it, you guys. And I was like, that is value coming through. I'm here for it. Let's go. And it happened last night at like 8:30. And I literally was like, thank you, Leslie, just pivoting and changing the mindset. And I just like, it had nothing to do with income, but truly there's value there, right? So anyways, I just had to share because I was like, this week has been everything, all of this great energy from your calls this week. And so I thought you would appreciate that.
I love that. I love that. I had something similar last month, which was so, and this is, it speaks to being open to receive, and it speaks to opening up our rules around money. So again, a lot of the work we do, for those of you who aren't in our community yet, a lot of the work we do with our clients is around money and opening up to different channels of money. And I used to believe the only way I can make money is if I make it, right? I can the only way, even listen to that language, the only way I can receive money is if I make it myself. But I've shifted that belief. Last month, last day of the month, I was 18K shy of my goal. And I was like, well, I've done all the things. I wasn't going to go into like stress or overwhelm or burnout or anything like that. And I surrendered. I was like, I've done the things. I've done everything I feel spiritually guided to do. Surrendered. Later that day, 18K comes in unexpectedly through my partner. I was like, there you go. We hit like on the nose. And that's, so whether it's a contest, whether it's a partner, whether it's like whoever, you got to open up though. You got to open up. So beautiful. The F-bomb was the best. It really was the best. I occasionally feel called to drop a timely, like not a lot, but occasionally. And I appreciate it when the women in our community do too. Debbie, you do too sometimes, which I love about you.
Every day.
Totally embarrassing her. Let's do this. This is beautiful. I see Julie and Rachel both in line for coaching, which is awesome. Raise your hand if you think you're going to want coaching. I knew you'd call me out. I have to. It was like my favorite thing in the world when you dropped an F-bomb at our April event. It made my heart so happy. So if you think you're going to want coaching, raise your hand so that I can kind of gauge time for how many people need coaching here. I will take a moment because I don't think everyone was on yesterday when we were talking through the September event or the 10K club. So if you would like to go deeper in this work, we have 2 opportunities right now that are open where we would love to support you. One, oh my gosh, Bridget, your baby. I can't even handle it. Stop it. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna go down a baby rabbit hole. One is we have our live event, our last live event of the year coming up in September, September 25th and 26th. And if my team can drop the link for that in the chat, we have early bird tickets on sale now. It's going to be at the Canopy Hotel in Portland, Maine, all about masculine, feminine. It's all about we call this the third quadrant of quantum sales growth. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Day one, you're going to align with whatever level of money you desire to experience in your business or your sales. And where it's also going to be about all the good in your life, right? So not just the money, but joy, health, peace, love, all of it. So that's going to be day one. It's all about the feminine. And we have specific tools and processes we're going to put you through to help you do that. Day two, I'm calling seven figure systems. We talked about this yesterday. Whether your goal is seven figures or not, I actually just really like the title. I think we're going to do a workshop called that at some point. But it's going to be all about integrating masculine energy to support you in the structure that's required for you to be achieving that goal. So, and be experiencing and receiving at that level. So thank you so much, team, for popping that in. So that's going to be a beautiful event. We'd love to have you there. If you have questions on it, you can reach out to us. We're here to help. Reach out to my team or me. And then we also have the 10K Club open for enrollment. I see a lot of my 10Kers in here. We love you. You're amazing. We're grateful for you. You're incredible. It's an immersive year-long coaching program where we go deep into all four quadrants of quantum sales growth, rewiring your mind, your beliefs, your self-concept so that you can be a match for whatever it is that you desire in your business and your life. We do a ton of money work in there with you. So clearing money blocks, raising financial thermostat, financial frequency, removing limiting beliefs around money. Then this piece, the masculine and feminine. And then also we do work on strategic tactical in that program as well. So team, if we can pop the link for that in there as well, that would be super helpful. I made a decision to extend the bonus through the end of the day today, since yesterday glitched and we didn't get the Zoom recording out and a lot of people weren't able to be there live. So for those of you who want to come to the event coming up in September, or you want to come join us in 10K Club and have us pour into you for a year or more, we'll extend the 20-minute bonus call with me through midnight tonight. If you have questions on any of that, reach out to Laura or me. You all should hopefully have all of our contact by now, but we'd love to support you further. And we also are available to jump on a quick call. I've got a little bit of time tomorrow. I think Laura has time today and tomorrow just to talk through everything if you want to talk through your options and how we can best support you. So I think that's everything I wanted to share there. Let's do some more coaching. Julie,
Well,
you look
hello.
beautiful in pink. So good to see you.
I missed yesterday.
Oh,
I had
well, on
everything was
forever,
rolling
but it was
along.
good.
Yeah, well, everything was rolling along, and then I had a meltdown because
Mm.
I was told you have to fill out why can't systems be in place? That's all. I really like systems. But
Okay.
I was trying to ask, look, okay, let's say this. My biggest pet peeve in life, like the thing that sends me off, is when I'm trying to go from point A to point B and there is mess in the way and I cannot progress. I can't get customer service to like have a
Okay.
decent conversation with me. I had a technical issue on something and the guy's like, well, I think you just need a new machine. Like, who goes out and buy a new laptop because your platform doesn't work? Something that probably could have taken 2 hours, it took me all day, like 8 hours to get something.
Okay.
It was technical issues, it was leadership, poorly communication, all of it. So I'm obviously pushing when I probably should have put it down. I probably should have go had a margarita and called it a day with chips and salsa at lunch.
Mhm.
So how do we like, and maybe that's something that yeah, how do I put it down when it's heavy?
So yes. And are you available for like an even deeper
Yeah.
kind of coaching mirror feedback?
Yes.
Okay. So what part of you right now, how do I want to say this? Let me say this in a really cognizant way. If everything was a mirror outside of us, what would that mean?
That
But
everything is
that's
just showing me what I'm working on.
uh-huh. What did you make the scenario yesterday mean?
So yesterday it was several like mounds of just, I get tired of being the organized one, being
Okay.
the admin while these other men are just enjoying the spoils of, well, I don't have to be organized. Julie can be organized. Julie will get us the Zoom link and I don't have to be bothered. And I don't like being put upon. Like,
Okay.
why can't I be in the race with you
Mhm.
guys? Why am I the one doing it all? And so
Yeah.
that,
So really quick right there. We get what we're available for.
but it's my business and these guys aren't going to care. They don't care.
It's your business, and they were still mirroring to you something that's within you that's available for things feeling chaotic, feeling like you can't make progress, feeling like you've got to be the one to keep it all together. So, what if yesterday was a gift to illuminate that part of you that's still running the show so that you can decide, do I want to continue to be her moving forward?
I think I still need to think through that. I don't know how to do it without.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the work. This is the work, and this is the part that your ego is going to go, oh shit, no, I'm not doing that. Like, no, because it's going to feel scary because you're going to have to become a different version of you. And so this is the work I do when I'm ascending, which I am, and I notice, okay, there's things happening outside of me that are triggering me, whether it's my team, something out, sorry, team, that's not what I mean, but when it's like you're saying, these are people outside of my company, right? So whether it's something inside my company, someone outside of my company, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what part of me is getting triggered right now? Because that's the small part that I get to love and comfort and let her know is okay, but you don't get to run the show anymore, right? And the woman who leads your company at the level that you want to be receiving at and operating at shouldn't take shit like that from people, right?
Well, I did speak up yesterday, and they're making a
Okay.
video to clean it up
Okay,
today
there you go.
because
So
I
it
was
was a
like, "That's
beautiful,
ridiculous."
yeah. So beautiful opportunity for you to practice showing up differently, for you to practice being the more worthy, um, boundaried is not a word, but we're going to use it. Well boundaried, more just presence within yourself, woman who it's boundaries, but that's something that you get to cultivate and stop being available for the lack thereof. And it was just a beautiful mirror of that, right? And what I'll do too is I'll look at, okay, for someone like this is where, and you've probably heard me talk about this in 10K, like having a board of advisors, right? So I've got it on a sticky note on my computer right here, my board of advisors. It's a lot of old white dudes. There's some women in there too, which is cool. But I look to them and I'm like, how would so and so handle this? How would so and so handle? And what I realize is that small Elise is available for a lot more ish than she probably should. And there's no shoulds, but it helps me be like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like this thing that I thought was normal that I just had to put up with. Like, no, they would not put up with this. But then the key is to do the work within yourself to be able to speak from a place not of trigger, but from of love to the scenario. So
So
it's all growth opportunity. Yep.
asking myself then when I get triggered, or as I do life, what
Yep.
is being mirrored back to me, and do I like this level or do I want to elevate?
Yes, that's it. And then it's the most beautiful gift because it's showing you what you get to decide if you want to keep choosing for yourself or not. If you want to keep choosing to be that version or not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've said no thank you, and I've unsubscribed to several things that were going on. I'm like, no thank you.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not doing that. Thanks.
And they
Yeah.
were like, oh, well, we probably need to step it up. The funny thing is the guy I'm working with, he's doubled his numbers now because I've called him up. I'm like, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it's all practice. It's all just beautiful practice. So that's all it is. Yeah.
okay. Thanks. 8 hours gone.
Yeah.
I guess I'll work on, yay, me for speaking up.
Here's how you do it. When you get lessons that feel like time or money spent that you would not choose. I do this. I had a $60,000 learning last year. And it was like, oh, I got to learn that big lesson and it only cost me 60 grand. Because Elise, who's showing up and operating at,
Yeah.
the level that I am and I'm gonna be in the 3D, not a big deal. I got a great learning and it only cost me 8 hours. Cool. Thank you. That could have taken a lifetime. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome. I love Madeline's feedback. This is a fun class. We teach them young over here, Bridget. We teach them young. All right, we got 5 minutes. We got 2 more women in line. I think we can do this. Beverly, go ahead. Okay,
Okay, sorry. I was trying to come off mute.
All good.
I'm on my phone and I don't normally do.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay, Elise?
Yeah.
Okay, so Saturday is a new moon. I love the training that you've done around the lunar cycles, especially
Yeah.
since I'm a woman who no longer has a menstrual cycle. So the other phases, I kind of feel like I have things planned out. And I'll just share just a little bit. I took some time off at Christmas and then again at my birthday. And I noticed both times I came back just totally unmotivated. And after your training, I went back and looked and noticed, well, guess what? I came back the week of a new moon. So here's what my question for you is. What kind of activities in my business? I mean, obviously you can't just go,
Not gonna do. Oh, hold on. Are you muted again?
okay. Yeah, I think I prefer that. So what kind of activities would you recommend? You can't obviously just say, I'm off this week completely. But what kind of things would you recommend for this phase, the new moon phase?
Yeah, great question. And for those who aren't yet in 10K Club, there's training. What Beverly's talking about is there's training and modules on aligning your business activities with your energy cycle, which ties in with the moon cycle. So, yes, so this is a beautiful awareness. Your intuition right now is heightened. So what's really powerful about this phase is paying attention to what shows up. So for me, every month, and I've cultivated my intuition where I feel like I would identify as like a very intuitive person all the time. With that being said, when we come into new moon energy, I find that there's stuff that comes up that I probably it was like I didn't have to deal with it before throughout the rest of the month because I was like more outward energy, doing a lot of connecting, not quite so quiet and inward. And during this time, I don't know about you, but for me, my intuition is so loud and it's about the things usually that need change, that I want to, that maybe I've been suppressing, that have been bothering me, that I just haven't said anything about or done anything about, whatever. Or like vision, right? Vision comes through of something I want to do that maybe felt too big or too scary. Pay attention. So yes, will there be things you still need to do in your business? Absolutely. We're going into a new moon. We're doing this together this week, right? So we're still delivering for our clients. I'm still showing up. I'm still doing the things. But I'm simultaneously paying a lot of attention to what's showing up intuitively right now that I desire to shift, change, rearrange, launch, implement for the next 30 days, for the next moon cycle. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful. Time with your journal. A lot of time with your journal, time outside, as much quiet time as you can have. still like get the things done, show up, do the thing. But it's a really good time to tune in and then
I
set
think I will
intention.
do. I was gonna say I think I will do a reset with my nutrition too next week.
Great idea.
Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
Great
Thank
idea.
you.
You're welcome. I know it's noon. I have like a couple minutes, so not, but Rachel, I'd love to try to answer your question if you can stay on for a minute. I got to go get the kids in a couple, but yeah, go ahead.
So a lot has like come through and I figured it out. And as I'm sitting here listening and waiting, I've kind of actually told myself the answer. So I
Okay.
don't think I need a whole lot, but
Yeah.
um, I think one thing that has come up is people always tell me that I'm such a really good coach, or like I help other people through their business, and outwardly my businesses look very successful, but I never make a ton of money in them because
Okay.
I don't know where that comes from. And but like, I was definitely in my previous business, I was awarded all around everywhere, like not just on the inside where you can like get like votes on your own side, but like,
Yeah.
Brides Magazine had me as one of the top hair and makeup people to have at your wedding, and like all these little things, but yet on paper it was never successful.
Okay.
And so when I retired from that, now I'm in the travel and I'm still in the wedding side. Like I do Disney weddings, and like it's tons of fun, but I'm recognized for knowing what I know and that I'm very helpful. And, Disney is like, you're really good at,
Yeah.
you're filling in where we don't do it. But it's not like, it's not
Yeah.
profitable.
Got it.
Is that like,
Yeah. It's so I've seen it before with other women. It's 100% blocks on receiving.
okay,
It's just money. It's not just money. It's money stuff.
that's what
I
I
will
thought. Okay.
send you a text because I think I'm your contact for this event. I'll send you a text.
Correct. Yeah.
I've got some thoughts for you. If you like 10K would be amazing for you to release those and step into a new frequency. So I will say that. But I'll shoot you a text and we can kind of
Okay.
continue the conversation there. That's what
Perfect.
it is. You clear that, you'll be open to receive. You'll be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right. Thank you all so much. Whether you're joining live or watching the replay, I hope that you enjoyed this bonus call. And I'm grateful that we were all able to come in and spend more time together. Thank you for being here and being part of this. For those of you who are in our programs and in our community, we will see you very, very soon. And then if you are not yet involved in 10K Club or coming to the September event and you want to connect with our team about getting involved, reach out. We're here. We'll extend the bonus through tonight, the fast action bonus of the 20-minute call. And we would love to support you. So, so much love. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for a great event. We'll see you soon. Bye.